Hello, you are welcome to our 8th episode of Nigeria Today's News. I am Michael Onjel. Today, we will illustrate the structure of Nigeria's presidential election. We will also look at the depth of the delegate election and the issues therein. An analysis of the presidential candidate will also form part of our discourse, as well as the debate about zoning. We will as well go further to evaluate President Muhammadu Buhari's tenure in office thus far. But before we go any further, let Becky read the news. Over to you, Becky.
Nigerians Today reported that 17 of Nigeria's 18 registered political parties have successfully stood out as candidates for the 2023 Nigerian presidential election. The People's Attention Party will not put forward a presidential candidate for the polls as the deadline for parties to complete their primary election has expired on June 9. As stipulated by the National Independent Electoral Commission of Nigeria, INEC. Therefore, the next Nigerian president will be elected from the 17th presidential candidate to become the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Let's also have a look about the slogans of the main candidates. Tinubu is one of the top contenders in APC. His slogan is "Breaking Shackles." Peter Obi, who is a former aspirant under the PDP, is a top contender in Labour Party, and his slogan is "Let's Take Back Nigeria." Atiku Abubakar is the flag bearer of the PDP. His slogan is "As one, we can get it done, one Nigeria." Atiku emerges PDP presidential candidate for 2023 election. Nigeria's former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, has again emerged as the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Mr. Atiku Abubakar defeated 12 other candidates in an internally contested presidential primary held at the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja on Saturday. Out of the 767 accredited ballots at the election, he polled 371 votes, while his closest challenger, Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, came second with 237 votes. Nigeria's former Senate President, Bukola Saraki, scored 70 votes to come a distant third, while Governor of Akwa Ibom, Udom Emmanuel, came fourth with 38 votes. The only female in the race, Oliver Diana, and another contestant, Sam Wabunwa, scored 1 vote each. A former president of the Senate, Ayim Pius Ayim, scored 14 votes, while Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed scored 20 votes. The other contestants, including former Governor Ayodele Fayose and magazine publisher Dele Momodu, got 0 votes. Also, 12 invalid votes were recorded. Tinubu defeats Osibanjo Amechi Lawan to win APC presidential ticket. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, former governor of Lagos State, has won the presidential primary of the All Progressives Congress, APC. He pulled 1,271 votes to defeat 13 other presidential hopefuls in the election. Rotimi Amechi, former Minister of Transportation and top contender, pulled 316 votes, while Vice President Yemi Osibanjo got 235 votes. Senate President Ahmed Lawan, the consensus candidate of Abdullahi Adamu, APC presidential chairman, pulled 152 votes. Rochas Okorocha, Tenjak Rich, and Tunde Bakari got 0 votes. Chukwuemeka Nwajiba got 1 vote, David Umahi 38 votes, Ogbonaonu got 1 vote, Yaya Bello 47 votes, and Ben Ayade got 37 votes. The former governor of Lagos State will fly the party's flag in the 2023 presidential election. Tinubu won the ticket despite stiff opposition.
Michael, did you see the news about Peter Obi being the flag bearer for Labour Party?
Former governor of Anambra State and 2019 vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Peter Obi, on Monday, 30th May 2022, emerged as the presidential candidate of the Labour Party after Professor Pat Utomi and others stepped down for him at the venue to make the former Anambra governor a lone aspirant. Professor Pat Utomi addressed delegates at the National Convention of the party being held in Asaba, the Delta State capital, said Obi must be given the opportunity to govern this country. The regime of President Muhammadu Buhari started in 2015 and will be due in 2023. President Buhari campaigned on the platform of the All Progressives Congress, APC, and was formally inaugurated in January 2015. On his ascension to the presidency, Mr. Buhari, a former military head of state, promised to tackle corruption and insecurity and also develop the economy. Sunday, 29 May 2022, marked 7 years since Mr. Buhari took power as Nigeria's president after defeating former President Goodluck Jonathan in 2015 and winning re-election in 2019. His 7-year reign as president has seen the nation wriggle through numerous economic challenges, with terrorism and inflation at worse level than he met them. The economy of the country has been in turmoil and dollar has risen against the naira, so much so that the price of commodities had tripled without a significant change or increase in minimum wage, leaving the lower class, middle class, civil servants and the general Nigerian populace at the mercy of God. Also, the level of insecurity and insurgency, which has crept from the north to the west, southern and even to the eastern part of the country, has put lives and safety of Nigerians at high risks. It is believed by many that President Buhari and his APC party have failed in their three-pronged promises of security, anti-corruption and economic development despite the huge resources at their disposal. Nigeria has been reported in global statistics to be the poverty capital of the world, a report which the Muhammadu Buhari government has refuted endlessly. Despite these inconveniences posed by the government of President Muhammadu Buhari, there are, however, some achievements which has been listed by the president himself. Some of them are provision of infrastructure, rejuvenation of the power sector, a viable petroleum industry, among others. The president, in one of his speeches, mentioned the 11.9 km Second Niger Bridge, 120 km Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and other key projects under the Presidential Infrastructural Development Fund (PIDF). On transportation, the president also said they were growing the stock and quality of the nation's road, rail, air, and water transport infrastructure. Some of the PIDF projects also advancing remarkably include the 11.9 km Second Niger Bridge, the 120 km Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the 375 km Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano Expressway, and the East-West Road. The president also listed the launch of the Nigeria Innovation Fund by the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority (NSIA), aimed at addressing investment opportunities in the domestic technology sector. Data networking, data centers, software, agri-tech, biotech, and more as one of the achievements of his government. No doubt also, this government has made tremendous progress on railway projects in the country, with the upgrading of the railway network being extended and completion of the Lagos-Ibadan line. The Takpe-Ajaokuta rail line has been completed and commissioned after 30 years of its conception. The president noted that work is expected to commence very soon on Port Harcourt-Maiduguri line and Calabar-Lagos coastal line to connect the southern and northern states of Nigeria. The upgrading of Nigeria's airports with the state-of-the-art facilities in line with world-class safety standards were also mentioned by the president as some of his achievements. While the president believes that his administration has performed creditably well in various sectors of the economy, the country will beckon on a new leadership in a few months' time. Subsequent to this, the parties have carried out their primaries to elect their party's flag bearer for the 2023 presidential election. Meanwhile, in a bid to ensure the sanctity of Nigeria's voters, President Muhammadu Buhari has said those planning to rig the 2023 election should think twice because he intends to firmly protect and defend the sacred will of the Nigerian people to be expressed through the ballot box. He has also cautioned against foreign interference at the elections and has promised to pass on strong culture of credible elections to Nigeria than what he met. Come 2023, Nigerians will be divided between three major contenders: Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC, Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, and Peter Obi of the Labour Party. Will any of these candidates be the savior that Nigeria earnestly pray for? What are the manifestos and ideologies to salvage Nigeria from the quantum of challenges faced by the nation? Before we go further, let's talk about how they emerged. It should be noted that in choosing political candidates that run for office in Nigeria's political space, the political parties usually adopt their preferred candidates through the delegates. Let's take a broad analysis of the presidential candidates. Mr. Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) defeated 12 other candidates in a keenly contested presidential primary. The PDP flag bearer and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar referred himself as the unifier. He said the country's unity in diversity had been grossly tampered with by the ruling APC. The two-time presidential candidate lamented over the APC's government for subjecting Nigerians into unnecessary hardship since it came to power. Atiku assured not to fail Nigerians, saying that the present government must be shown the way out for not being fair to the people that elected them into power. One of his campaign slogans are, "As one, we can get it done." He also listed his 5-point agenda as 1. To restore Nigeria's unity through equity, social justice and cooperation. 2. Establish a strong and effective government that guarantees the safety and security of lives and properties. 3. Build a strong, resilient and prosperous economy that creates jobs and lifts people out of poverty. 4. Promote a true federal system which will provide strong federal government to guarantee national unity while allowing the federating unit to set their own priorities. And 5. Spearhead education reforms so as it's driven by innovation, science and technology. The APC convention race began with 23 aspirants but had 9 withdrawing shortly before the commencement of voting at the convention. The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, also the national leader of the party, scored 1,271 more than 4 times the votes scored by his closest rival, Amechi, who had 361 votes. Tinubu, while giving his victory speech at the Eagle Square, the venue of the APC primary on Wednesday, 8 June 2022, said his opponents have nothing to fear after his victory at the party's primary. Speaking further, he said, President Muhammadu Buhari has already laid a solid foundation in security, economy and anti-corruption. We build upon this for the salvation of our people. We will create jobs for our youths, from the Zamfara and Osun Gold deposit to the vast agricultural lands across the country. We will create new opportunities in the fintech sector, the creative and entertainment industries, digital skills and other areas. Our vision is of progress and the future that can be. We must defeat the PDP's reactionary ideas. More progressive vision for Nigeria shall secure a better society for all Nigerians. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has adopted the campaign slogan, "Breaking Shackles." Bola Tinubu has also listed 7 items as key points that will form the fulcrum of his government. They are leadership, technology, security, infrastructural development, homegrown businesses, education, and true federalism and democratic processes. Also, Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State, on Monday, 30th May 2022, emerged as the presidential candidate of the Labour Party after winning the party's presidential primary election held at the Orchid Hotel in Asaba, Delta State. Obi, after receiving the LP presidential flag, said that his mission in the Labour Party was to lead the change towards building a new Nigerian nation through the following. Number 1, revamping of the economy, effectively tackling insecurity, addressing educational problems, and upping the general standards of living of Nigerians by ending wastages in government. He also promised to fight poverty, create jobs, and transform Nigeria from a consumption economy to a production economy. The Labour Party's flag bearer also spoke authoritatively about his credentials in business and financial management, especially while as Anambra State Governor. However, while there will most definitely be a change in the 2023 general elections, Nigerians are torn within the issues of which zone should produce the next president. And so, we talk about the issue of zoning. Since transitioning from military to civilian rule in 1999, Nigeria's 2 main political parties the ruling All Progressives Congress APC and the opposition People's Democratic Party PDP have practiced presidential zoning. Under this arrangement, the parties agreed to split their presidential and vice presidential candidates between the country's north and south. The practice began as a way to ensure that neither the north nor the south of the country is ever permanently excluded from power, as well as allowing for balanced regional representation in national leadership positions. But over 2 decades after the system's inception, Nigerian voters and politicians alike are beginning to question the modern-day relevance of zoning, as well as its negative impact on the development of Africa's most populous nation. While many believe that the election should be based on competence, many also believe that it is the turn of the Southeast to produce the next president of Nigeria. Notwithstanding, this, however, will be tested at this forthcoming election in 2023, as Nigerians will hope to have the final say on the election day as regards the issue of zoning. Now, what is our opinion on the election from Nigeria today? Between Bola Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, it is most certainly believed that this election will prove to be very keenly contested in the electoral history of Nigeria. For us at Nigeria Today, we can't but only hope for a free and credible election devoid of all forms of violence and malpractices. We will hold on to the words of President Buhari in his declaration to protect the wishes of every Nigerian at the polls. It is also our opinion that the election swings in favor of the best candidate as will be dictated by the ballots. We have come to the end of another interesting episode of Nigeria Today News. Don't forget to drop your comments while also indicating your likes and shares. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our page, Nigeria Today, and turn on your notification button to stay up to date. Stay safe. I am Michael Angel. Thanks for watching.